Let me ask you something. When was the last time you made a decision, a real decision, a decision that was entirely yours, not shaped by what your parents expected, not influenced by what your friends were doing, and not based on what society told you success looks like? When was the last time that you did something just because you wanted it? For a lot of people watching this, they can't answer that. And that's not a small thing. That's your entire life. Because here's the truth that most of us are too afraid to say out loud. Most of us are living a life that we never actually chose. We're living the life that was handed to us, designed for us, expected of us. And we've been so busy surviving it, keeping up with it, that we never stop to ask, is this even mine? And I know this because I lived it. For a long time, I wasn't living a bad life. It was fine. And from the outside, you know what? It actually probably looked pretty good. But if I'm being honest with you, if I'm being really honest, I was on autopilot, going through the motions of life that I never consciously chose. I didn't wake up one day and think, I want this. I just followed the path, did the next logical thing, ticked the next box. And one day I looked around and I thought, how did I even get here? And more importantly, is this actually what I want? And maybe you felt that too, the quiet nagging sense that something feels off, that you're going through the motions, that your life you're living feels more like a costume than a skin. It shows up in different ways for different people. Maybe it's a career that looks impressive but feels hollow. A relationship you stayed in longer than you should have because leaving felt too complicated. Hobbies you gave up because they weren't practical. Dreams you stopped talking about because people didn't take them seriously. You shrunk yourself over and over again until the person looking back at you in the mirror is a version of you built for everyone else's comfort. And the saddest part, most people don't even realize it's happening. It's so gradual, so normalized, that living someone else's life just starts to feel like living. So how does this happen? How does someone end up so far away from themselves? It doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow erosion, and it starts early. From the moment we're born, we start absorbing messages about who we're supposed to be, what's acceptable, what's impressive, what's safe. Our parents had dreams for us, sometimes spoken, sometimes unspoken, but felt. Our schools rewarded certain types of intelligence and ignored others. Our culture handed us a blueprint. Go to school, get a good job, get married, be stable, and be responsible. And none of those things are inherently wrong, but here's the problem. We adopted all of it without questioning any of it. We never asked, does this fit me? We just assumed that if the blueprint worked for everyone else, it would work for us too. Then there's the approval loop, and this one is sneaky. Every time that we did something that made our parents proud, our teachers satisfied, and our friends impressed, we got a hit of validation. And our brain remembered, this is how we stay safe. This is how we stay loved. So we kept doing it. We kept making decisions that would get us the most approval, the safest reaction, the least amount of conflict. And slowly, without realizing it, we outsourced our identity to other people's opinions. And then, especially now in the age of social media, we keep comparing our lives to everyone else's highlight reels we see on Instagram. We started chasing lives that look good in photos, careers that sound impressive at dinner parties, milestones that got the most likes. We stopped asking, what do I want? And started asking, what should I want? The result? A life that looks successful on the outside, but feels empty on the inside. Now here's what I want you to understand, and this part is important. This is not about blame, not your parents, not your culture, not society. They were doing their best with what they knew. They gave you what they thought would protect you, and for a while it did. But you are not a child anymore. You do not need to be protected from yourself. You are allowed to want what you want. You're allowed to build a life that actually fits you. The question is no longer who handed me this life. The question is, now that I can see it clearly, what am I going to do about it? And the answer starts with something simple but radical. You have to get to know yourself again. Not the version of you that was built for approval. Not the version of you that learned to shrink. The actual you, your actual values, your actual desires. The things that make you feel alive, not just productive. This is the work, and yes, it's uncomfortable. Because when you start pulling on that thread, a lot of things start to unravel. But on the other side of that discomfort, there's something that most people never find. A life that actually belongs to you. So let's get practical, because I don't want to just have you guys feel things. I want to give you something that you can use and apply to your life today. Here are the first steps to reclaiming your identity. And not the identity that was given to you or you inherited, the one that is actually yours. Step 1, do the audit. Grab a piece of paper or open your notes app, and then answer these 3 questions honestly. 1, what decisions in my life did I make because I genuinely wanted to, versus because I felt I was supposed to? 2, what parts of my life, if I'm really honest, Feel like they belong to someone else's vision of me. 3. What did I want as a kid, as a teenager, before the world got loud, that I slowly let go of? Don't overthink it, don't edit yourself, just write. The point of this exercise is not to have answers. It's about to start asking the right questions. Step 2, separate your values from their values. This one takes a bit more time, but it's powerful. Write down your top 5 values, the things that matter most to you in life. Things like freedom, creativity, security, family, adventure, impact, whatever comes up for you. Now ask yourself, where did each of these come from? Did I arrive at this value through my own experience, or did someone else teach me to value it? Some of them will be genuinely yours. Others may be ones that you inherited. And some may be things that you were taught to value but actually don't. You just never question them. The ones that are truly yours, those are your compass. Build towards those. Step 3, start saying no to the life that isn't yours. This is the hardest one because saying no has consequences. People will be confused, some might get hurt, and you might feel guilty. But here's what I've learned. Every time you say yes to something that isn't yours, you're saying no to something that is. You don't have to blow up your life overnight. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow, move to a new country. It's the small things. Say no to the social event you've been dreading. Say no to the career path that looks good on paper but makes you feel miserable. Say no to the version of yourself that you perform for other people. Every small no to the wrong life is a small yes to the right one. Step 4, design your own definition of success. This might be the most important one. Sit down, seriously set aside an hour, and write out what success actually looks like to you. Not what it's supposed to look like, not what would impress people at a reunion. What would make you genuinely, quietly, deeply satisfied? What does your ideal Tuesday look like? Not your ideal vacation, your ideal Tuesday, because that's your life. When you have your own definition of success, you stop chasing everyone else's. And that changes everything. Look, if this video hit you in a way that you weren't expecting, that's not an accident. That feeling, that's recognition. That's a part of you that knows about the truth of where you've been. And I want to be clear, you realizing that you've been living someone else's life is not a failure. It's actually the beginning of something, because you can't change a life you can't see clearly. The fact that you're here watching this, asking these questions, that already means something. And most people never get there. So here's what I want to leave you with. You are not too far gone. You are not too old. You are not too deep into something. You are exactly where you need to be to make a different choice. The life that's actually yours, it's still available to you, but you have to be willing to go find it. Start with the audit, do the work, and remember, one honest question is worth 1,000 comfortable answers. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below and tell me, what's one area of your life where you've been living someone else's version? I do read every single one. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Ty Berger and this is what we do here. Real conversations about building a life that actually belongs to you. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one.